Good morning to all my fellow bakers. My name is Joseph. I'm the Soigné Baker. We're back with yet another easy recipe. This one is a chocolate pavlova. Now, normally I just make a regular pavlova, but I have a friend who is very fond of chocolate, so I decided to change things up a bit for her. This is a very simple and easy recipe, and as usual, it comes together very quickly. So I'm sure that y'all can follow along at home and make this for yourselves, and let me know how you like it in the comments. Let's get started. So let's get started with an overview of our ingredients list. We're going to start with our sugar, our chocolate, our cocoa powder, and another part of the recipe we're going to use this orange blossom water, but we also need vinegar and 6 egg whites. It's very important that you separate these egg whites from the egg yolks, as you'll see later on in our video why that's so important. So we're going to start with our whisk attachment. Now it's very important that we use this whisk attachment and not any other attachment, otherwise we will not achieve what we're trying to achieve as far as getting those egg whites whipped up into a frenzy and into a foam and then into the stiff peaks that we need it with. So we need that whisk attachment. Now the first thing you'll notice is I failed at completely removing the egg yolks from my egg whites. We're going to talk about how that affects it later on in the video, but right now we're going to work through it. So let's get started. We're just going to whip these egg whites for what would normally be 2 or 3 minutes, but because I did not get every drop of the yolk out of there, it's going to take a little bit longer. So now you can see we've entered our egg whites have started to foam up a bit, and it's just the process of tiny gas bubbles getting trapped inside there and causing a reaction with the proteins. It's a little more complicated than that, but you could do the same thing with water, but as soon as you stop whipping it, it will turn back into water. All those air bubbles will pop. The egg yolks will help you to create a stiffer foam. I'm not suggesting you use water in making a pavlova, by the way. So we're continuing to whip it and continuing to whip it. Now eventually this will get to some soft peaks and then firm peaks. At different stages you're going to add in different ingredients, and you'll see how that gets started. Alright, now you can see this has been whipping for longer than 2 minutes, as I stated before. It's not coming together as quickly as it normally would, and as you can see, it's not peaking or forming into the solid that you want it to be as quickly as you want it to, but we're going to keep working with it. All right, now it's time to add in our sugar. Now it's very important. I've seen some people use regular sugar, but I find that it's much better to use castor sugar, which is super fine. And if you don't have access to superfine sugar, you can just put your sugar in a food processor and process it down until it gets to the consistency that you want it at. But this superfine sugar incorporates into the meringue a lot quicker, a lot easier, a lot smoother. It just makes for a better process all the way around. Alright, so now we can see that this meringue is not quite as stiff as we want it to be, but we're going to go ahead and add in our chocolate, actually our cocoa powder right now. And what that's going to do is going to give us that nice chocolatey flavor that we're looking for. Now original pavlovas have so many stories as to the origins, but some say that the origin of it comes from someone made this rich fluffy dessert for their favorite ballerina in either Australia or New Zealand, and her name was Anna Pavlova. And then there's other stories about they come from this country or that country. There's not really any solid story out there, but all I can tell you is it's a great dessert. And it's a great dessert for, say it's a celebration like a graduation or an anniversary. this will, you know, someone will see that you went a little extra step, a little extra mile than just making them a regular cake. They'll appreciate it more. Alright, so now I'm adding the last bit of that cocoa powder, and soon I'm going to add in my chocolate. Now the difference between a chocolate pavlova and a regular pavlova with without a chocolate meringue base, it doesn't get like, say you wanted to pipe out a nice decoration with your chocolate pavlova, it won't hold its shape in the oven. It'll just flatten out on you. Now, I'm not exactly sure the chemistry behind that, but don't expect that to happen. And I will tell you this recipe, if you want to make a smaller pavlova, it is very easy to cut this recipe in half and still have a considerable sized dessert. You can cut this recipe right in half, which I'll put in the description, and still have a very nice dessert. Because with this, I was able to make 2 desserts, you know. So now it's time to add in that chopped up chocolate. I just got a baking chocolate bar from the candy aisle in the grocery store. It's chopped it up. That's going to give your chocolate a little bit more depth of flavor. If you want even more chocolate flavor, I would suggest adding in some espresso powder. You know, espresso powder is not going to make your dessert taste like espresso. It just enhances the chocolate flavor that's there. So if that's what you want to do to enhance your chocolate flavor, then go right ahead. Now, we talked about already how this chocolate, it won't hold a design or a shape in the oven, but when you are making a pavlova, you want to get those yolks out of there so you can have those stiff peaks, so you can make something as beautifully decorated as this. Look at the pipe work on that, or something like this, something that will hold its shape and its structure. And you may even decide you want to tier it. You can put 2 or 3 layers, or maybe you have another special design in mind, whatever floats your boat. But that's another reason to get those yolks out of there. Okay, so today I'm wearing something that's far more casual than you're used to seeing me wear. But I didn't want it to be all the way casual, but I was just feeling kind of lazy. But then I also was kind of inspired by Cary Grant in this To Catch a Thief, how he walked around with this outfit on for about half of the movie. Of course, I was way more casual than him because I was having a lazy day, but I still wanted to record this video. I even paired these with a vintage pair of bright and colorful Grant heels. I mean, I was just that casual today, which is not the norm for me. But hey, all of us have a lazy day, but you can still look presentable and be casual. Okay, so that pavlova has come out of the oven, and as you can notice, there are some cracks in it, but it's not so detrimental because we're going to cover it up with all of our toppings. My favorite thing to start with is a lemon curd. Now, this is not a store-bought lemon curd. As a matter of fact, I have a short that I'm going to post at the same time in this video that you can watch and see just how easy it is to make lemon curd. As a matter of fact, I used those egg yolks that I separated from the egg whites. I use that in making this lemon curd. It's a very easy dessert. Don't cheat yourself by buying a store-bought lemon curd. There's hundreds of, maybe thousands of easy lemon curd recipes. It doesn't take long at all. And the flavor, your mouth will thank you for making your own homemade lemon curd. So that's going to start as the base for our toppings right there, and I'm going to get that spread out. And what I did is it's barely noticeable, but there's kind of a well in the middle of this pavlova in order to receive all of the ingredients. You don't want to just that way you can pile it fairly high. You can pile your ingredients fairly high, and they won't fall off, they won't topple off or anything like that. So I'm just continuing to add this lemon curd because you can add as much or as little as you like. I mean, I made so much, there was so much left over. I said, well, I'm going to really slather it on here. So that's up to you. You can make as much or as little as you like. After you got all the lemon curd on there, whipped cream. Now, whipped cream, I do not believe in buying store-bought whipped cream. It's so easy. It is literally what it is. You get some heavy whipping cream, you whip it up. You can add different flavors to it as much as according to what you want. I usually add vanilla, and this one I added some vanilla, some cardamom, some powdered sugar. Boom, easy breezy, and whipped it up until it turned into this beautiful thing. And whipped cream is the thing that you can top. You can put it on any dessert and take it to the next level. I don't care what you're eating. If it's good, whipped cream will make it great, and homemade whipped cream at that. It literally takes less than 5 minutes to make a beautiful, light, fluffy, airy whipped cream, and it will be better, I promise you, better than anything you bought in the store, whether it be Cool Whip or something else. Anything you buy in the store will not equal up to homemade whipped cream. So now here comes the part that makes your pavlova really beautiful, really appealing to the eye by choosing what ingredients you want to top it with. Most pavlovas are topped with fruit of some sort, and for this one I just made it a berry pavlova. I'm going to start with my strawberries. I just cut the flowers off and sliced them in half so they would lay flat. And all the other berries that I use in there, I just left them whole. I didn't want to cut them up or dice them or anything like that. And you can get creative if you want to. After you've gotten it topped, you want to drizzle it with some honey, or perhaps you've made some kind of puree you want to drizzle it with. But check out these golden berries. Now these they're pretty good. They're sweet, they're tangy. I don't know, they're like little berries, but that kind of remind you of a lemon in some sort of way. I don't know, they're hard to describe. You just got to try them for themselves. And not only that, look at the color pop. I mean, that orange and red up against that white, it's just beautiful. And you know what they say, we eat with our eyes first. So I had some golden berries left over from when I made my wife like a smoothie. So now we're going in with blackberries, blueberries, and raspberries. And we're just gonna top it until we run out of berries, I guess. I mean, you have so much freedom in this. You just do whatever you wanna do, and it's basically your show. However you like your fruits to be arranged, whatever fruit combination you want. I mean, it is all up to you. Whatever makes you happy, go with it, and just let it fly. You know, if that's enough berries for you, you can stop right there. But for me, I wanted to keep piling them on. Actually, I used all the berries I had. I had bought a bunch of berries a long time ago to do this with, and I said, well, this is what I bought them for, so I used them all, every last one of them. I mean, the blueberries are going to give you a little bit of contrast with those golden berries. There's sweet, there's tart, there's tangy in there. I mean, it is beautiful. This is the finished product. Now, ladies and gentlemen, don't make the mistake I made. I should have taken this meringue base off of the silicone before I topped it all. That was just a failure on my part. But I hope that y'all like this video, and I hope y'all try this dessert because it is really good. It's summertime. There's all kind of fruits that you can try. This is the finished product. This is what it looked like when I got done with it, but perhaps you can do something even more creative. Whatever you do, I hope y'all enjoy.